The Indianapolis AlleyCats opened their 2017 AUDL campaign with a tough loss here at home to perennial powerhouse, the Madison Radicals. Now they return to the southeast side of Indy after over a month of road games to try to exact revenge against those same Radicals and to halt a 3-game losing skid. I'm Bird Phillips, and with me this evening is former Indianapolis AlleyCats player Alex Hutton. Good to have you, Alex.
Bird, I am really excited to be back. We got the dynamic duo here together, you and me. I think it's going to be a great night.
Nice. The AlleyCats come into tonight's game with a 1-4 record. Have you ever seen a tougher schedule than what they have faced to start this season, Alex?
Well, the first thing is that you look at the number of games played. I mean, they're at 5 games, and the most any other team has played is 3. And so, obviously, the AUDL, with how they spread out the schedule, has been a little bit tougher on the AlleyCats and other teams. Another thing you look at is Minnesota and how they've improved. They're 3-0,
right,
leading the division.
Right.
The Radicals, had an early loss. So did the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds. And so, I mean, that's probably the main thing you look at is that they've played some tough teams. They've played tough games. Most of their games have been pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-4 record, but it's hard to say this, but it's not a bad 1-4 record.
No, you always talk about, are there good things to take away from a loss? And usually you can always find some things. I know that these AlleyCats are focused on, remaining confident. I talked to Coach Eric Leonard, and that's one of the things he shared is that despite the fact that they're still trying to get that win against Madison, they remain very confident going into this game.
Yeah, and speaking of losses, in 2 of the 3 road games that they lost in the past month, they had the lead in the fourth quarter. Did the coach say anything about what they need to do to finish games?
Well, the one thing he shared with me is one of the things we're going to see tonight is a lineup change. We're going to see Cox and Ames on the D-line, and so that's going to be something they're going to try to use to get some more break chances, and that will, I think, hopefully affect the game, especially, in those fourth quarters when maybe there's more turnovers, because people are getting a little bit more sloppy or tired, and, they're hoping to convert those. So that's the main thing that, again, when I was talking to the coach, Eric Leonard, he shared with me that's one thing they're going to be hoping to be able to use to convert more break chances and give the offense more breathing room.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who the point man for the offense is going to be. We're kind of anticipating that it's going to be Joey Carey, wouldn't you think?
I think so, yeah. He's got, I think, perhaps the most experience as a handler of the people they're going to have starting on O. They have a lot of really strong cutters on tonight's starting O-line, and I think that they're going to really need Joey Carey to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, the AlleyCats have never beaten this Madison team at home or on the road. So every time they play them, it's an opportunity to make a statement. And we're anticipating that their season is going to get a little easier from here on out. So hopefully they can start that next segment of the season off with a win against Madison tonight. So there you go. I'm Bird Phillips. With me is Alex Hutton. Also in the booth is Heath Shanahan, our producer. And we're going to be ready for the game here in a few minutes. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Madison Radicals versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Health Zone Chiropractic. Enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health. 5 Ultimate, supporting Ultimate from the end zone to the dance floor. Disc Store, offering the best service and best price on Ultimate gear guaranteed. BE Ultimate, Ultimate players making Ultimate gear for the Ultimate community. Layout Ultimate, the most durable Ultimate gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. and, of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats. Welcome back. We just caught the tail end of the national anthem, and we are ready to go here from Roncalli Stadium in southeastern Indianapolis. And here are your starting lineups, brought to you by Health Zone Chiropractic. We have a little bit of a delay on the starting lineups. I have to say, Alex, they're really only about 4 weeks out of the year, at the end of spring and the beginning of fall, when we have perfect weather here in Indiana, and this is definitely one of those nights.
Yes, you can definitely tell that we got lucky because we've been having a lot of rain lately, so hopefully this weather holds up. This is perfect weather for Ultimate.
And here we go with the starting lineups now. For the Indianapolis AlleyCats, number 7, Levi Jacobs. Number 18, Mike Kobira. Number 19, Spencer Loskar. Number 22, Kyle Cox. Number 30, Wally Kasperzicki. Number 78, Michael Ames. And number 85, John Jones. And for the Madison Radicals, we have the starting offense. Number 8, Benji Kieran. Number 11, Andrew Brown. Number 21, Dave Wiseman. Number 25, Ryan Tucker. Number 29, Nate Thibodeau. Number 32, Colin Camp. And number 68, Ben Nelson. Those were our starting lineups, brought to you by Health Zone Chiropractic. Dr. John Rempel and Health Zone Chiropractic are proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit them online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. Here comes the opening poll, brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Learn more about the IUF at www.indianaultimatefoundation.com. And this first poll of the game will be coming from the Indianapolis AlleyCats, going from your left to your right. The Madison Radicals will have the disc first on offense, and they definitely know what to do with it, don't they, Alex?
Yes, and you could definitely tell there. We could see Coach Leonard talking to Ames, trying to get the D-line set. It's a kind of a new look for the AlleyCats, and here we go.
It comes down. This is Andrew Brown, number 11. He swings it to the far side. And down the line, it's number 25, Ryan Tucker. And just like that, well, not on the end zone, he's on the line. And just like that, like I said, there's the first score for Madison, and they put it on us quickly. It doesn't take long with them, does it?
No, I mean, they're a bit of a well-oiled machine with their offense. Got a lot of time playing together.
Yeah, and the defense for the AlleyCats is a new group. They have some guys on there that typically don't start on the D-line, most notably Michael Ames, who typically is the main handler for the AlleyCats. I think we talked about that a little earlier.
Yes, I know we've talked with him, and he's definitely been improving his athleticism. He's an athletic player, but he's just been working hard to get more in shape, and I think the AlleyCats trust him on D. I think he's certainly going to be a reliable person, especially we talked about when they get those turnovers, hoping to convert them into points from their D-line.
Yeah, has Michael, has he played defense in the past?
He's, I can't speak specifically to maybe how many points he's played on D. I know that he's had a lot of experience making defensive plays for them. I know that he's not always been necessarily a 100% offensive player, but I know that he can definitely make plays for him. And like I said, I've seen him out there making plays on the D-line, and I think that it's definitely going to be something that we'll have to kind of watch and see, and I think that it's going to be an interesting look.
Here we see Keenan Plew with the disc. He's a guy who's going to be handling a lot tonight from what we've heard.
Yes, I know that his decision-making is excellent, and that's something that obviously speaks for itself with the number of assists that he has. And so I think it's definitely something they're going to try to utilize.
Here's Joey Carrot with it on the near side. Carey looking for that forehand, gets it across to Rick Gross. There's Plew back to Gross. Gross looking to the end zone. Has to swing it. As Cameron Brock gets it down the line, it's a great catch. And that's Jake Fella with the score for the AlleyCats. They tie it up 1-1 with 10:40 to go here in the first.
One of those things you saw there, like they made a ton of throws working up the field, which, you know, sometimes you just have to be patient like that. A little bit of maybe a risky throw there, throwing it to the sideline like that, but, you know, AlleyCats get the score and tie it up.
Yeah, Cameron Brock had the disc in his hands a lot on that play.
Yeah, you know, the AlleyCats do a great job, you know, swinging back and forth with the handlers, keeping the disc movement, and I think that's definitely also another key for them.
Yeah, I say that because he's a guy who almost always is downfield, the leading scorer in the AUDL. He typically is not a handler for this team, but he's been getting a lot better at that. I think I mention that every single time we do a broadcast, but I'm always impressed by his improvement in that regard.
Yes, you get to this level, you got to be someone who can catch, throw, do both of those things.
So now the Radicals with it. Andrew Brown at the point. Swings it to the middle of the field, now to the far side. And that's Colin Camp, the man who is everywhere for this team. Gets it back to Brown. Now over the top. And Brown once again with the backhand into the end zone, and that's a nice throw, just right over the top. And the Radicals with the score. I'm trying to see who that was. And, of course, I have to comment on this. For anyone who's watching this from Madison, Madison's their colors are yellow, white, and blue, but on their visiting uniforms, they have the yellow numbers on the white jerseys, so it gets very difficult.
A little bit of a glare there, yes.
To see some of the numbers at times. So if I miss those calls on who that is, I apologize. It's probably going to happen a few times tonight. And that, I believe, was number 25, Ryan Tucker, with the score. And, of course, it was Andrew Brown on the assist. So here's the pull back from Madison. It's going to be taken by Keenan Plew. He gets it ahead to Samson. Here's Rick Gross with it on the near side, looking for that backhand.
See something here that Radicals are definitely going to use, running their zone.
Schwartz swings it back to Sohn in the middle. There's a hammer back over the top to Schwartz. Schwartz gets that backhand to Gross on the near side. Gross, again, getting a little bit of a loose double team there, and that was a good look over the top. Cameron Brock thought he should have had that. That D there by number 40, Marquise Mason, former wideout for,
I believe it was Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, Wisconsin Badgers, that's right. We saw him play his first game here last month.
Oh,
there's a big layout by Rick Gross. I don't think he actually got that, but number 27 unable to come down with that throw.
Sometimes what you hear called an intimidate a little bit. Kind of made him think twice about it.
Exactly. So now here's Travis Carpenter, gets one over the top, and that's maybe not the best throw, immediately taken by the Radicals.
Yeah, Radicals are one of those teams that definitely do a great job of maybe making you think you got the throwing room, you got a window there, and they'll capitalize, and they'll get turnovers.
They're going to be looking for the break now. And this is Pettit Scantling. He sends it to the far side. That's number 2, Andrew Meshnick, another guy who's all over the place for this team. And Everhart gets it back to Meshnick. And there's a miss by Pettit Scantling. You don't see him do that too often.
You do not. I was just about to say that. AlleyCats really got to capitalize on this one.
Here's Schwartz. The AlleyCats O-line going to try and get this point back now. Carpenter back to Schwartz. Schwartz with a sharp backhand to Plew. Plew to Gross. And there's Cameron Brock. That's the way it should have happened the first time.
You play on a big field like this, there's going to be a lot of room to work the disc. And AlleyCats just, this sort of near side closer to us here, they did a great job of, moving it and using that.
You see the replay on that.
Utilizing all that free space.
That was just a nice tight throw there. He just puts it right into the corner for Cameron Brock to get that score. And that's Rick Gross's first assist, and Cameron Brock now has 1 assist and 1 goal. And we are tied at 2-2 with 7:36 to go here in the first. Now the Radicals back the other way. There's a double team from the AlleyCats, putting some pressure on the O-line. John Jones lays it out. He can't get that, though. Now on the far side, looking for that backhand. That's number 21, Dave Wiseman. They swing it back to the middle. Number 68, Ben Nelson. And the Radicals working it methodically down the field as they always do. Huge hammer over the top. Great effort by Colin Camp. Can't quite get there, and he's a guy who almost always gets there, but he couldn't get that one.
This weather right now is, maybe in the favor of making those throws. Just I don't know, just kind of got away from there a little bit, but that's definitely going to be an option.
Yeah, not much wind tonight. We're going to see a lot of throws like that. A lot of guys taking chances on throws that they might not do on a day that has more wind.
Yes, and honestly, some of those throws, you might think you just kind of look at it, and whether it's over the top or maybe you're really launching it like a hammer throw, it might just seem like, okay, anyone could just kind of go out there and throw those and they'll work. But you really have to practice those. It's something that trust me. Every player out there is working on that individually, practice, getting guys together, making a lot of throws.
That was Levi Jacobs, and he swings it to the far side. We have number 17, Ryan Jarvis, back to Jacobs. Jarvis catches up with that one.
Smart decision there.
Yeah, he had a man, but he didn't want him. He sends it back to the far side, and that's going to be...
What a play.
Oh, my gosh, what an unbelievable catch by Ringwood. He gets it in the end zone for the score. That was beautiful. I don't know how he came down with that.
Wow. Really saw the space well, and just opportunity presented itself. And, that's one of those things where you just got to go all out. Sacrifice your body.
We're going to see the replay here. Colin Ringwood, I don't know how that got through there.
Can we get hashtag AUDL.top10 on that one?
That was number 23, Zach Zebarth with the score. And like our producer Heath said, that might be a candidate for the catch of the half, no doubt. So the AlleyCats now up 3-2 with 5:37 to go here in the first. And they have the lead. Let's see if they can keep it.
Crowd's behind them now. You might be able to hear them there. They're getting a little loud here. A lot of people here following the Indiana High School All-Star game.
Yeah, we had the All-Star game right before this game, and a lot of the crowd has stayed with us, and hopefully they stay for the whole game. We have a good crowd tonight. So now Madison back the other way. And this is Pettit-Scantling.
Nice cut there.
Yep, and there's a drop by Bill Everhart.
Wow. Maybe I spoke too soon.
The AlleyCats going to look for a break now. There's Lascar.
Just make some smart decisions here.
And Ames, you see Ames on the D line.
This is what they wanted. The AlleyCats wanted to have Ames out there and have him lead them down the field.
Yep, you have another handler. Sam Sohn pumps a backhand. Wide open. Wally Kasperzicki in the end zone. That's one of those throws. Sometimes it's almost too easy to catch. He was wide open, but he came down with it for the score. So Wally Kasperzicki puts the AlleyCats up by 2 now. 4:58 to go here in the first. And that's something you haven't seen too often against this Madison Radicals team, a 2-point lead for the AlleyCats.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as we saw 2 drops, and the AlleyCats scored 2 times. They're up by 2. That explains it, I think, right now.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, though, it's one thing to start hot, but it's another thing to finish the game.
Yep.
And we have a long way to go tonight against a great Madison Radicals team.
And another thing we often mention in these broadcasts, especially with being early, AlleyCats going to need to use their depth, their athleticism, conditioning.
So here's the pull from the AlleyCats back to the Radicals here on our broadcast with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, our new presenting sponsor. So we thank them for that. That's been huge. Number 21 for the Radicals. That is Dave Wiseman. He centers it. And there's another missed throw, and I think that surprised the AlleyCats defender. It hit him right in the head. He wasn't ready for that. But the AlleyCats come down with it nonetheless. Number 18, that was Mike Kobira. There's a big forehand from Levi Jacobs into the end zone. Another score for the AlleyCats. Jacobs with a perfect score.
I believe that is Connor Henderson's first ever AUDL goal. 18 years old from Center Grove High School.
Yep, a senior in high school, our man.
And just a great cut. Amazing throw.
Yeah, perfect throw.
I'm going to be honest. I'll share a little story here. Coached Connor back when he's a freshman. I told him, I was like, hey, you have a lot of potential. I'm going to be surprised if I don't see you on the AlleyCats someday. And sure enough, here about 2-3 years later, first AUDL goal.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
you're proud
whenever
of your boys.
Whenever they do the 30 for 30 on the AlleyCats,
you're going to be the first one.
They can have that free material there.
Yeah, you saw the replay of his face there, just the last second. You saw that smile on his face, and that's what this is all about. That look on his face. So now the AlleyCats with a 3-point lead, a very rare 3-point lead against this Radicals team. And you can almost guarantee the Radicals. That's the thing about the Radicals. They never get down. And you saw a perfect throw from Bill Everhart. And there's a wide open man in the end zone. And he's got it for the score. Samson trying to get over there, not quite able to make it. And the Radicals cut the lead to 2, 5-3 with about 4 minutes to go now in the first. And we've had a good amount of scoring so far to start this game. You see the replay there. Nice, easy catch by the Radicals. One thing is consistent. Things change. When they do, your insurance should too. An Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent can review your current policy and check to see if you're paying too much or covered too little. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. We're back with you now. The AlleyCats on offense. Here's Joey Carey. Gets it ahead to Jake Fellow with a nice forehand. He's got Travis Carpenter. Carpenter looking to the end zone. He's going to have to pull this back out, though. Back to Carey. He's going to swing it to the middle. Now Keenan Plew sends it to the far side. Travis Carpenter. The AlleyCats get it quickly down the field, but now they're working it through the handlers. There's Carpenter with a perfect forehand to Cameron Brock in the end zone. We've seen some really good throws from the AlleyCats tonight.
Yes, I'm sure that's, again, one of those things working on practice.
Yep. Yeah, and again, I think we've had great weather, no wind. We're going to see a lot of good throws. Obviously, we've seen quite a few mistakes on the catches so far tonight, though, surprisingly.
One of the things I think we sort of maybe expect to see is just some nice sort of clean ultimate. Like you said, a lot of throws that are going to be clean, a lot of pretty throws, a lot of great action.
And you
got
to wonder, too, though. We're getting right around that time, about 8 o'clock, I think, where the sun is going to be right in their face going from right to left. So some of those catches may be difficult because of that sun. You see now the pull from the AlleyCats. coming down to the Radicals. Those guys trying to shield their eyes as much as they can. There's a big forehand from the Radicals. That's carving back toward the middle. It's going to be a free when he comes down with it in the end zone. Great play from, trying to see who that is. And, of course, I can't. But that was number 21, Dave Wiseman. Thank you, Heath. Our producer is going to be making a lot of the calls in my headset here for who's catching these, because it's a little difficult for us to see in this sun as well. See Wiseman go up and get that. And that's what the Radicals have an advantage over the AlleyCats a lot. They have some big players who can go up and get it. So now with about 3 minutes to go, Radicals down by 2 are going to be pulling to the AlleyCats. There's a big backhand. It's going to come down to Carpenter. He has to go get that a little bit. Over to Sohn, facing a double team, easily back to Carpenter.
You can tell the Radicals right now got about maybe 3-4 people around the disc.
Yeah, that's something we typically see from them, setting up the double teams.
Yes.
As much as they can.
As you can see there now, AlleyCats get the free swings, gain some yards with that, reset, and then do the same thing, and take the chances up the middle when they present themselves.
Yeah, and really a lot of it's about being able to work through the handlers so you don't get those double teams set.
Yep.
And being patient and waiting for big throws like this. And we've seen a lot of that tonight. And Gross with the score, they've had a lot of opportunities going deep into the end zone against this team. You see Sam Sohn gets the assist, and that's Rick Gross with the score. I believe that's his first goal of the game. Sam Sohn with his 3rd assist already tonight. I'm sorry, that was his 2nd assist. Our stats man, Nolan Phillips, quick on the update for us.
One of the things I mentioned in the last game is true again here today. Only one person has 2 goals, only one person has 2 assists. So you have 6 different people that have an assist, 6 different people that have a goal.
Yeah, we have a lot of stats being spread out on both teams. So now the pull from the AlleyCats. The Wind holding that up a little bit. That's number 68, Ben Nelson, who comes up with it.
It kind of floated there on that first throw. I thought maybe Jarvis was going to attack that.
Here's Tucker. Tucker gets it to Camp. Camp's got Jones on him. Easily ahead to Wiseman. Wiseman looking to the end zone, has to send it back. Number 11, Brown, easily gets it to the end zone himself. That's a nice look. He always knows where everybody is. He's a very impressive handler for this team. Really keeps everything under control at all times.
Definitely someone that has a great command and sense of the field. Does not make very many turnovers.
I believe that was number 25, Tucker, on the end of that.
Nice and easy. I mean, just like I said, make it look easy. He makes it look easy. And just one of those people that are not going to make very many mistakes.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com. The AlleyCats clinging to that 2-point lead still in the first quarter as we wind this down. See Carpenter with it in the middle. Swings it back to Carey. Carey to the near side to Gross. Gross wants that forehand. He's got it.
Brock made a great cut there. Just one quick fake and had him in all the way.
Carey looking to send it back to Brock. He can't. He gets Gross.
Here, great communication there. Gross letting him know he's going to be open.
Carey's got it. He's got an opening. Has to send it back.
Break side is very open right now. AlleyCats can use that space. Help him out a lot. As you can see there, 2 throws up the break side, gain about 20 or so yards.
Yeah, beautiful catch by Brock. Full steam going to the other side.
Back and forth game here. of the things that, we mentioned. This is a big reason why the AlleyCats put Keenan Plew in the O-line. Work it back and forth. However many throws it takes is however many throws it takes. Even right there, it's like just swing it to me. I'll swing it back, keep working it, and wait for the right opportunity.
Yeah, you have to say so far it looks like this new O-line has been working pretty well for him.
Using up a lot of clock here.
There's Brock, sends it to Carey. Carey back to Plew. Plew with a sharp forehand into the end zone, and there is no one there except for Rick Rose for the score.
Honestly, the only thing I can say about that is even though it took forever, that might be one of the best O points you're ever going to see. Took a lot of time off the clock. Again, I can't really guess however many throws that was, but you saw Keenan Plew with a lot of completions, a lot of touches on that, and AlleyCats get the score and don't leave much time on the clock.
14 seconds to go here in the first. If either team gets a Callahan in today's game, 5 Ultimate will offer a 10% discount from their store for the next 24 hours. If a Callahan happens, we will be given the code and share it with our viewers. Thank you to 5 Ultimate for that.
Be interesting to see here what the AlleyCats are doing with their defense. You can see already they're leaving 3 people back in the end zone. Carpenter chucks it.
And that was a bomb of a throw. It looks like it went, I'm not sure, it looked like that hit. I feel like that hit in bounds, but they're going to bring it out.
Definitely an advantage. Radicals, I think, might have gotten a break there. It's going to allow them to wait for the clock to start, so that's a huge advantage for them.
So the clock will not start until the first catch. This is Brown. Gets it to the far side. This is going to be a throw to the end zone. Big forehand, and they're going to go up for it. And that's a great catch from Travis Carpenter to prevent that score. AlleyCats finish the first, one of the best quarters I have seen them play, with an 8-5 lead over the Madison Radicals.
I agree. We talked earlier in the game about some changes they would make to the D-line and O-line. D-line converted most of their break chances, and they have a 3-point lead because of it.
We'll take a quick break now. You're watching the Madison Radicals versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
So, Alex, I don't want to beat this into the ground, but this looks like a little bit of a different AlleyCats team tonight.
I'm excited. This has been a fun game to watch. I think for what you see, and we talked early, I think, about the Radicals not making a whole lot of mistakes, and I don't know, do we jinx them? You saw a few drops, and, like I said, Ultimate, there are a lot of athletes out there, a lot of guys that are going to make plays,
Yep.
a lot of guys that know how to make throws, and sometimes it just simply comes down to decision-making, and one of the things is that some people might wonder, why is Keenan Plew a handler? The guy is one of the best cutters in the AUDL, but his decision-making is also better than most players that I've, again, played with or against. And one of the things that's really helping them right now.
Yeah, he definitely has been in control of the disc in this game, and it seems to have really settled the AlleyCats down on offense. Like you mentioned earlier, that last point that they had, it was just perfect. And a lot of that, I think, came because it was running through him. And he's a guy who has just so much experience and so much confidence that I think the rest of the team is feeding off of that right now.
Sure are. AlleyCats get an opportunity again here to go back on offense, take a 4-point lead. I'd be interested to see how many times that's happened, but it's early on. Madison's a team that this game is certainly, and we both know it, not over.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to the AlleyCats made an adjustment to start this game with a different O-line, different D-line, and now we'll see if the Radicals can adjust to that themselves. And I think if any team in this league can do that, they're probably one of the ones who can, because they have an immense amount of experience with this lineup, and they are a great team. So
couldn't agree more.
Yep, they're going to be pulling now from left to right. AlleyCats, like you said, looking for an opportunity to go up by 4 now. We'll see if they can have that same patience that they had at the end of the last quarter here to start the second. So this is Pettit Scantling with the pull, and it's going to come down to Plew. He gets it centered to Sohn, and Sohn looking at a double team coming, gets it away, gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter down the far side to Gross, and the AlleyCats easily clearing midfield. And there's a throw from Gross, maybe a little quick. You can see him with the hands on the head.
Just got away from there a little bit. He's made that throw all game, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have to control their emotions here as they have these opportunities to keep this lead. They can't let that psych them out. Now back the other way. There's a little bit of a loose throw, but Carpenter unable to come up with the D. And this is Bill Everhart. Gets it to number 14, Logan Pruis. There's a forehand into the end zone, and that's a nice throw. Good score from the Madison Radicals, and they come right back. And like we said, they're not going to make this easy. That was number 42, Chase Marty, with the score for the Madison Radicals. Not sure who had that throw. We're going to see the replay here now. You see that's just a good find. Samson unable to contest that throw. And like we said, Chase Marty with his first goal of the game. That was Brian Hart, number 13, with the assist on that. So this is Keenan Plew for the AlleyCats. Pops it ahead to Joey Carey, swings it now. Rick Gross wanting to make up for that off throw on the last possession. See what he can do now. Carpenter with the double team coming.
Ooh.
Sends one through the middle to Carey, who has to go up and get it.
A few pump fakes opened up the double team there.
That was Jake Fella. Again on the sideline.
And here again, you're going to see a swing, another swing, and look how many yards they gained from those two swings. That's very key.
Yeah, you can see Carpenter wide open again. They just work it down the field. And he had a man early. Gets it over the top. 2 AlleyCats fighting for it.
Loskar wanted it more. He's going to get the score.
Loskar goes up and gets that. He didn't know Fella was there. Fella, I think, saw him coming and tried to get out of the way. And
I'm not sure if Fella's going to forgive him for that.
No,
took away his goal.
You can see Carpenter. He had Brock early there in the end zone, and he found 2 guys in the back of the end zone that were more open, and they almost took each other out.
Well, one of the things the AlleyCats do during pregame, and a lot of teams do it, is they throw it quickly back and forth. They get in with a bumblebee is what it's called. You know, they just kind of do a bunch of quick throws back and forth, looking around, find quick dump throws. Just again, you're making maybe 100 or so completions, just going back and forth and back and forth, and you can see it benefits in a position like that where they're just going very quickly, not taking a lot of time in between throws.
That was Spencer Loskar's first goal of the game, and Travis Carpenter with his second assist. And Travis Carpenter now with 21 assists on the season leads the team. And back the other way, number 68, Ben Nelson. And we have a whistle downfield.
I think he called an offensive foul. Either that or a pick. Either way, Madison's going to lose some yards here.
Step that back 10 yards. And on the far side, that's Benji Kieran, gets one over the top. Forehand to Wiseman. Wiseman looking for that backhand, gets it across the field. Now the Radicals on the goal line. AlleyCats so far doing a good job of blocking that, and I don't know if that was inbounds. He calls it in. He had that back foot inbounds, caught that way out of bounds. So another nice score from Madison. They work it easily down the field against this new AlleyCats D line. We'll see the replay now. And we couldn't see the foot there on that replay.
He definitely had a better view, and it seems like he could have easily dragged his foot in inbounds.
Yeah, the referee with a better look than we had, obviously. He was right there. So now with 9:29 to go here in the second, the Madison Radicals cut it to 2, 9-7. AlleyCats with the lead. Keenan Plew takes it in deep in the end zone, gets it head to Sohn now. And Plew, number 1, looking for that forehand. He's going to have to step it back and get a dump over the top to Sohn.
Almost a 7-second stall call there. You just had to put it up, close. And luckily Sohn went in the same direction as the throw there.
Brock with a gentle forehand ahead to Schwartz. Schwartz with the same to Gross now on the near side. Gross looking down the field. Has to get it back to Schwartz. Schwartz with a nice fake. Here's Brock with it. And Plew's going to have to go get that, and he does with the left hand. Great play from Plew.
He does such a great job. He's not the tallest guy, certainly, but just uses his body, boxes out, and goes up at the right time.
He's got amazing timing, too, and that's a lot of it. Here we see the AlleyCats again being patient, just swinging it from side to side. And there's a big forehand, and that's Carpenter, and you know he's going to get that.
But again, you know, taking the deep shot when it presents itself.
Yep.
Keenan Plew, again, making the smart decision. He knows he has that throw, and AlleyCats go up by 3 again.
He powers that forehand into the end zone. Keenan Plew, I think, with his 3rd assist of the game. And that was Carpenter with his first goal. So the AlleyCats again with the 3-point lead, and they're keeping it up there. They haven't taken a 4-point lead yet, but they're keeping consistent with that 2 to 3 point lead. So I'm going to apologize to any of our fans from Madison who might be watching right now. I did not have 92 Kevin Brown's name on the roster for some reason. He's been handling the disc quite a bit, so I will be calling his name from now on when he has it. And that's him right now. He gets one back over the top. Andrew Meshnick has to send it to the far side. That's Andrew Brown, I believe. Now Wiseman with it, looking for that forehand. Kevin Brown swinging it. Here's Camp. We haven't called Camp's name too much tonight yet. He's a guy who needs to get going for them. And here he is now. He's got Levi Jacobs on him. Brown fakes it, looking for that forehand. He's got a man deep in the end zone, and that's just a perfect throw. I thought that was going to Kevin Brown. He sends it past him for the score. Just that's one of those things like we talked about earlier. He's got amazing awareness. So that cuts the lead to 2 now. Madison Radicals with 8. You see him step that out. Brown thought that might be coming to him too, and that was number 29, Nate Thibodeau, in the end zone for the score. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net That's healthzone, CHIRO.net. 7:22 to go in the second quarter. AlleyCats with a 2-point lead and the disc coming their way. We'll see if we can keep that up, that 3-point lead going here, because the Radicals are not having too much trouble scoring here in the second. We have a discussion now in the middle of the field from the coaches. Not sure what they're talking about. AlleyCats head man not looking too pleased about that exchange. We can only wonder what they're saying. Alex, what are they saying? Can you tell us? You've been in this position before.
The only time I a lot of times I'll see discussions like that is when it gets like bad spirited. You know, it's like when there's like a lot of bad spirit going on in the field. And I mean, I haven't really seen that tonight, so that would be my only guess.
Right. Well, like I said, we can only wonder. Now Madison going to send this pull from right to left. They're going to have the wind at their backs. We've seen some long pulls going this direction. It's going to be Keenan Plew probably going to be taking this in the air. So it seems like they were listening to the stadium announcer. I think they may have been discussing whose possession it was. Not entirely sure what was going on there. We're just going to go with the AlleyCats are getting the disc now. This is Joey Carey. Takes it out of the air. Sends it ahead to Plew. And Gross now facing a double team. He's got a big man on him. That Marquise Mason is a big dude.
He is. You can tell he's still maybe growing a sense of, you know, how ultimate works on the field, but I mean, he's definitely an athlete. Yes, I don't know if he's had, I don't know maybe how much experience he has on the mark. He's usually, you know, deep for him. So we'll see if it's something AlleyCats can maybe take advantage of here.
You can see there he had a lot of size on Joey Carey. Joey gets it through. He's got a forehand going into the end zone. Brock's going to have to go up and get this. And it comes down. He's wondering if there was contact on that play. And I think there was, but that was a free disc in the air, so it's going to be hard to get that call. Pettit Scantling going up with him.
Maybe I don't know, maybe not the best decision there. Something that AlleyCats hadn't done a lot this game. And
right.
We'll see if Radicals score here.
Yeah,
makes it a one-point game, so we'll see.
Right, that's something we've seen from them in the past where they start to get a little antsy and put those throws up, those cross-field, downfield throws that don't work out too well sometimes. Now looking for the break. Madison with 6 minutes to go. Want to cut this to 1. And we have a whistle on the field.
I think a timeout
Yep,
called.
I believe we're going to have a timeout now. Probably from Madison to get their O-line on the field with 5:55 to go here in the second. AlleyCats lead 10-8. We're going to see if they can get a D here and stop this run by Madison, who are looking to cut this to 1.
I mean, to be honest, AUDL with the timeouts, it's something that I find to be, I don't know if exciting is the right word. It's very intriguing because it's one of the rare times, in fact, really the only time in Ultimate you'll see line changes. And so you think, oh, well, you know, Radicals, now they get to put on their O-line. That's an advantage. Well, so the AlleyCats can do the same thing, put out their D-line, and it's basically just like a complete shift a lot of times. And so it's definitely one of the, you know, again, things that's really different about Ultimate here in the AUDL.
Right, and you saw there at the beginning of that timeout, Cameron Brock discussing with the referees that last play where he'd gone up to get that disc and it was knocked away. So
I think Ultimate is hard enough really to call
right.
on its own when there are no refs, and so with its refs, it's like you basically have to judge. There's going to be contact. If you always call it whenever there's someone touches another person, it's a foul every time. So it's hard to judge, did that contact really impede him having the ability to catch? And when 3 guys all jumping up at once, it's like it can be a tough call to make.
Right, and there's always going to be a little bit more liberty, I think, in this league, a professional league.
Yeah.
Being refereed by actual referees.
Yeah, maybe not something the players like, but just something I think naturally is going to happen.
Here's another disc up in the air. Jones unable to knock that away. That was an amazing catch by Colin Camp. And I said earlier he was going to have to get going for this Radicals team. And I think he might have just done that right there. Beautiful play from him on a disc that probably should have been knocked away, to be honest.
I'm going to guess that that's just a thrower trusting the receiver and maybe them having, a good connection and just thinking, okay, if I throw this, he's definitely going to come down with it.
Here's Wiseman. Gets it to Brown. Brown looking for that forehand. He rattles one over to Kevin Brown. Brown back to Nelson. Nelson gets the dump. Brown with I'm not totally sure who he was throwing that to. I think that might have been going to Thibodeau. Camp unable to come up with it. And the AlleyCats with a good defensive set that time. So Madison brings their O-line on the field, and it does not work out for them. The AlleyCats looking for a break. Here's Kasper Zicki. AlleyCats still with 2 timeouts with 4:30 to go.
Thought maybe they might go timeout for timeout there, but I think Coach Leonard is trusting his D-line. Worked for him so far today. They're just going to keep rolling with it.
Ames in control of this D-line now from the point spot. And that's Loscar, goes up to get it. Great athlete. Loscar on the end zone, gets the pump over the top.
Oh.
There's Wally Kasperzicki on the back pedal. Gets the score in the end zone. 4 minutes to go now in the second. AlleyCats again take a 3-point lead, and that was a great set for them.
Definitely maybe look back later in this game and we'll say, okay, that point was very key. But,
Spencer
good weather
Loscar
tonight for that.
Yes, great over-the-top hammer. Spencer Loscar with the assist. Kasperzicki with the score. I believe that's his second goal of the game. Spencer Loscar with his first assist. So now 4 minutes to go here in the second. AlleyCats still, I'm not going to say they're in control, but they're still in a good position against this Madison Radicals team. AlleyCats now with the pull comes down to Everhart. He swings that left-handed forehand across. There's another forehand, big down the field, wide open man. That's Pettit Scantling. Oh, he makes a second effort for it, still unable to come up with it though. I thought he was going to come down with that. Didn't know if the AlleyCats had put that into the ground as much as they should have. Yeah, this is a good time for a timeout possibly. This D-line has been on the field for a long time, and there it is.
Exactly. I was about to say, I think if they get a turnover here, they'll call a timeout. And sure enough, timeout AlleyCats.
So 3:28 now. AlleyCats with their second to last timeout. They still have one left, I believe, and they have a 3-point lead. And you have to say, this is one of the best atmospheres we've seen for an AlleyCats game in a long time.
I agree. Again, there's a good crowd, great weather, and even got a few food trucks here. One of the things that AlleyCats really enjoy having is, local businesses coming out, and it's good food, trust me. We got, I think, some Mexican food, pizza down there. I really enjoy it. So maybe to all those viewers out there in the local area, come out. It's a great atmosphere. A lot of good food, a lot of good ultimate.
Yeah, and as much as we like having you watch our broadcast here on Universe Point Productions, you really can't beat seeing a game live. And our broadcast tonight, I want to say again, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We cannot thank them enough for assisting us in doing this. We get the opportunity to sit here and do this game. We're sitting here with the windows open up in the booth.
Again, I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun night.
73 degrees, no humidity. I'm just going to beat this into the ground because
I think we're going to go out there and play some halftime.
Yeah, we don't get much of this here. in Indiana. Usually it's freezing cold and then it's way too hot almost immediately. So we get a few days like this, and we have to enjoy them. So the AlleyCats, this is going to be Travis Carpenter with the disc, and he fights through that double team right away. He knew where he wanted to go with it. That was a good play by him. Now he's going to send it to the near side. Plu. Gross is going to have to dump this, and it's on the ground. That was a nice D. That was number 2, Andrew Meshnick, and now Madison is going to have this disc right on the line. And there's the dump. They're going to have to swing this to the other side. It's Kevin Brown who gets one over the top. That's Joshua Wilson, number 9. Gets it back to Kevin.
Couple good switches there by the AlleyCats. Good communication, and then, well, one guy snuck away.
Yep, there's a short hammer right over the top. And that's Pettit Scantling with the score. And that was a bit of a missed opportunity for the AlleyCats that time.
I think it maybe twice now they've had a chance to go up 4 and haven't executed both times, but, you know, then they've come back strong on offense and more of an aggressive blade there, not a hammer.
Sorry.
I don't know. That's
pretty far away.
Very interesting. He was open, so I guess he just was like, I'm going to get it there somehow, and it made it happen.
And it worked, right. So now 11-9 AlleyCats, like you said, missing a couple opportunities, and that's one of the things about this this Radicals team. They've been in almost every position you can imagine, and they never let anything affect them, and they are relentless. So they're going to keep coming, and the AlleyCats have to do the same. This is Joey Carey, gets it ahead to Plu. Plu looking. Madison closing a little slowly on that D that time. Brock now on the near side gets the forehand. Gross is going to have to go up and get that. He does. Beautiful catch.
Aaron Schwartz there open, on the far left side. And
Carpenter,
then got
oh my goodness. I'm not sure it can get any more pretty than that. That was a picture-perfect hammer. Was that a hammer?
It was.
I think that was a hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 12-9 now. AlleyCats put it back up by 3. We're going to see the replay now. Carpenter just showing you how it gets done. And that's Schwartz.
Definitely someone who works on his throws a lot. Paying off there. And like I said, AlleyCats going up by 3.
That was Carpenter with his 3rd assist of the game. Schwartz with his first score. We are getting stats tonight from Nolan Phillips, my son, who is my personal IT guy. And he's loading up these stats live for us so we can see what's going on the field. So we appreciate that very much, Nolan.
Bright future. You know, if we have more kids like him, there's bright future. You know, it's good to see.
It's hard when you're a parent and your kid's already smarter than you and he's only 12. So, but I'll take it, though. This is Kevin Brown. Centers it to Andrew Brown. Andrew Brown has Ames on the mark.
Levi Jacobs doing a great job of staying with his man. His man's just cutting in and out, and he's just taking with him there. He's guarding. I believe it's Nelson.
Here's Kobira is going to try and get this D, and that's Thibodeau. He had that disc in his hands. Kobira with a nice play on it, couldn't come down. Thibodeau, I think, may have been distracted by that, and that disc went to the ground. Now AlleyCats going to tap this in on the line.
1 minute, 30 seconds to go. Quick deep shot.
Big pump down the field. Kobira does come out with that one.
Oh, what a throw.
Perfect throw to the end zone.
Amazing.
Loskar with the score. AlleyCats now with a 4-point lead with 1:20 to go in the second quarter.
Wow.
And they are trying to put this first half to bed.
That was one word to describe it, beautiful throw.
Yeah, that was just an amazing throw from the end zone.
Just great put out to space. And, you know, that's Mike Kobira. You know, I think he's maybe only got like 2 or 3 assists on the season, but, you know, definitely someone that's, you know, new to the AlleyCats, and you can definitely see why Coach Leonard trusts him out there.
And you have to say that D-line with that break. I mean, they put that down the field in 2 throws. And that's what you got to see against this Madison Radicals team, is defense that can take advantage of mistakes. And the AlleyCats showing that they could do it that time. So we'll see if Madison can adjust. Now the AlleyCats with the double team.
Ooh.
And I think that was a bit of a surprise. A scary throw over the top. Number 13, Brian Hart, comes down with it, though. They've got about a minute, plenty of time to work this disc and cut that time off the clock. Contact on the AlleyCats, number 14. And
I think everyone heard that. That was good.
that was Connor Henderson with the foul.
Oh.
He got it right back. Connor Henderson makes up for it immediately.
Don't worry, I'll save all those stories about how this kid's going to be great, okay? But I think I'll just let that play speak for itself.
Yeah, you don't need to tell stories when he does it like that.
Oh, man.
The AlleyCats out on the field. They are pumped.
And that's one of those things that's going to get the team just insanely motivated. You got a young kid out there, and he makes a foul, but then comes back just an insane layout D. And, I'm excited just watching that. That was incredible.
He had his first score of the game earlier, and that was his first D.
Look at that, closing the space all the way through.
Just perfect.
There's another hashtag AUDL top 10 right there.
Right.
Am I allowed to do that hashtags like on the air? Like they can't see me doing the
Nope.
the air quotes here, kind of the hashtag,
Oh, please don't do that anymore.
I'm sorry.
We'll give you that one.
All right.
That's all you give.
No
You know
more.
what? You can have one in each half.
Sorry.
So now the AlleyCats up by 4 finally. 13-9 with 28 seconds to go. And they have a good opportunity to maybe get another score and go up by 5. Going into halftime now.
And, just looking at the clock here, again, 28 seconds left. AlleyCats definitely something they're talking about in the huddle. And we'll see. Use up most of the clock. Go up by 5 here before half.
We got the O-line back on the field. Travis Carpenter is going to take this about 25 yards to go to the end zone. He's going to be facing a double team.
Two very reliable people out there in Carpenter and Plew handling the disc.
You can see that there. Carpenter puts one high over the top. Plew goes to get it with a great catch. And here's Joey Carey.
Plew
And
does a
the
good job
Radicals-
of going far behind him so that Carey doesn't have to swing it around the defender there.
The Radicals really working that double team right now.
Another great hammer there.
10 seconds to go. Joey Carey gets that forehand to Carpenter. Carpenter with an opportunity. And I don't know if he knew how much time was on the clock because he was trying to swing that to Schwartz, and it's knocked down. The AlleyCats again with a bit of a missed opportunity, but they go into halftime with a 13-9 lead, and that's got to be the best position they've had against this Madison Radicals team.
Definitely one of those things that you would have liked to see. It's hard to not show your frustration there, on the air. But again, AlleyCats are doing a great job. Definitely have to say that was a very impressive half. They're again 1-4 record coming out strong. Again, we talked about at the beginning. Keenan Plew is going to be handling on offense. Michael Ames is going to be helping the D-line out when they get turns. They've executed whenever the Radicals have turned the disc over, and you just kind of add those things up. A 4-point lead, and you kind of think to yourselves, this team's really 1-4, and again, you just one game at a time and get back in it.
Well, like we said, they're 1-4, but they had 3 really tough road games back to back. They've been gone for over a month. And 2 of those road games were on the road in Minnesota against a very good Minnesota team. So
it definitely, it might be easy to say that that's the most improved team in the division so far this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, they have really come on strong this year. They made a lot of improvement last year, and this year they're just a very good team. But the AlleyCats, I just want to say I don't know that 1-4 record is really reminiscent of what kind of team they are. And so far tonight, they're proving me right. But, this is a team that, like I said, they've had leads going into the fourth quarter in 2 of those losses and weren't able to hold on to that lead. So we'll see if they can make that change tonight, make that adjustment, and keep Madison off their backs for the rest of this game. So we're going to take a break for halftime now. You're watching the Madison Radicals versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on Universe Point Productions, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
We're back with you now after halftime. The Indianapolis AlleyCats up 13-9 over the Madison Radicals, and we're going to take a quick look at the Layout Ultimate Grip Catch of the Half. And this was a no-brainer, as we had Colin Ringwood laying out around the Madison defender and immediately standing up and getting it into Zach Zebarth in the end zone for the score. Just an amazing play by Ringwood. That was the Layout Ultimate Grip Catch of the Half. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Layout Ultimate would like to give out a pair of gloves to a viewer. Tweet at universe_point using the hashtag Layout Ultimate and tell us why you want some gloves. We will pick a winner in the fourth quarter. So there you go, Alex. That was the only hashtag for this half, so I'm sorry.
I mean, I could tell you why. I wear gloves, and maybe I could get some free gloves. I don't know. Like, maybe I don't count because I'm doing the broadcast. I don't know.
Well, you can tweet to us, like I said, at universe_point. And anybody else who's out there watching, just let us know where you're watching from. We always love to know where our viewers are coming from. Just
I'll try not to plug my own, Twitter account here. Just send Universe Point some love.
That's
right.
right.
I mean, seriously, Heath Shanahan, great job putting this all together.
Yeah, you can also point out all the mistakes that Alex is making during this broadcast.
Yes, I always love to hear constructive criticism. I don't want any haters on Twitter.
That's right. So now we're back with you, and this is going to be taken at midfield. AlleyCats with the double team. That goes over the top.
That's a great throw.
That's a really good throw. Here it goes to Brown. That's Kevin Brown.
Oh.
Gets it through to Andrew Brown. Tough throw that time. Here's Wiseman. Has the double team coming. Gets it back to Andrew Brown. There's a perfect throw over the top. Jones, laying out trying to get that. But it's Tucker who comes down with the score. It's number 25, Ryan Tucker, with the assist from Andrew Brown. See the replay here. Brown gets the swing right over to Ryan Tucker. Andrew Brown, that is his third assist of the game. And Ryan Tucker with his third goal. So those two guys have been working it so far for Madison. 11:34 to go, 30 seconds down in this second half. And they cut the lead to 3, 13-10. Here's the pull from Madison. That's going to scoot out of bounds. The AlleyCats are going to take this at the brick. Again, don't tweet that mistake. I make all kinds of mistakes. Only tweet Alex's mistakes, please.
Yes. We cannot stress that enough. If you're going to tweet at universe_point, only mistakes I make.
That's right. I'm not active on Twitter, so I won't see it anyway.
Yeah,
Here's Travis Carpenter, gets a low throw, and that's on the ground. Joey Carey unable to come up with it. Right back the other way. Madison with the break. And that was a quick turnaround for them. They cut that to 2. And here we go. AlleyCats are going to have to keep this going here at the beginning of the second half, and they're having a slow start, and we've seen that in the past. And after that great first half, they cannot let this get away from them.
I think it's a big point here. One of those things where you saw Carpenter kind of wondering what was going on. I don't know if he was maybe thinking a call should have been made, but you kind of stop for that split second, and the defender takes off running. No one guard him, so it's an easy throw to make.
Yeah, so Madison with good awareness on that play. That was Brian Hart who broke into the end zone and got the easy score. Pettit Scaling now puts this up in the air. It's going to come down fairly short. Samson's going to scoop it off the ground. Gets it to Keenan Plew. Keenan's going to try and keep this under control now. Far side to Brock. Brock has a double team coming quickly, and he has to get that out. And that's a great play by Loskar. And we have a whistle. And a penalty on Madison. AlleyCats get a little bit of a break and walk this up 10 yards. There's Loskar with the quick dump.
Good catch there.
Jake Fella now, forehand back to Plu. Fella crosses, gets it back. Swings it to Loskar. Plenty of room now for that forehand. He's got Brock in the end zone. Brock goes to get it. One-handed catch in the end zone. AlleyCats right back the other way.
That was a great throw. I mean, I was kind of wondering what he was doing there for a second, but, I mean, if you're going to make a throw like that, you know.
Perfect forehand from Loskar. He had plenty of space to throw that. And he sees his man, and he just goes to get him.
He's going to have to throw it because, I mean, the defender there was closer to the sideline where he's kind of throwing it over him, but you know, I think you practice that enough, you kind of get the right sense to how it needs to feel coming out of your hand, and you just kind of floated it over him, and great throw.
And that's Brock, I believe, with his third goal of the game to lead the team. He's a guy who's done that a lot in his career, so he knows how to make that play, that's for sure. AlleyCats with the pull. Comes down to Nelson.
Ooh.
Brown swings it to the far side. There's a sharp forehand. And this is Camp. Again, another guy who knows how to go and get it. And he does. And Madison is not going to let this get away from him, that's for sure. They cut that lead to 2 now with 10:07 to go. And I said earlier, I think that's Camp's first score of the game. He's the guy who in that first game that they had against the Radicals to open the season, I'm sorry, that was his second goal of the game. He's a guy who had a great game that first game, so if he gets going, that's not going to be good for the AlleyCats. Andrew Brown with that assist. I believe that is his 4th assist of the game. Plu going to bring it back the other way. He's got Carey. They get it ahead quickly, but now they're going to have to take some time. There's Carpenter with a nice catch. Carey here with us on the near side. There's Carpenter, sends it right to the Radicals. That was number 14, Logan Pruis, who was in the right place at the right time.
I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
It just some Madison guy was just standing in the lane, not really guarding his man, and Carpenter just didn't see it.
Now Madison looking for that break. Number 13, Brian Hart. Gets it back. Here's number 2, that's Meshnik. Gets it to Hart, has the forehand. He's got a man in the end zone. Just like that, Madison cuts that lead to 1, 14-13 for the AlleyCats. And this is crunch time now for the AlleyCats. 9:08 to go here in the third quarter. And they're going to have to try and score here and stop this run by Madison.
This is one of those opportunities in the game. You kind of have to just put the score aside right now and just go out there 1 point, focus on this 1 point here, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's right. We saw Madison make some early mistakes in that first half. They had some drops. They had some maybe ill-advised throws. And now we see and the AlleyCats were able to take advantage of it. Now we see Madison doing the same thing here to start the second. Here's a good pull from Madison. Samson going to take that in the end zone. Plu's going to send it to the near side. We have number 22 for the AlleyCats. That's Kyle Cox on the O-line now. He was on the D-line earlier in this game. He's a guy who traditionally has been on the O-line. So he's back as a handler for this O-line. He's got it now on the near side with that double team. He sends it back to Plu. There's Samson. He's got the Marquise Mason on that double team. You can see Madison keeping it tight on the D here on the handlers now.
One of the things that's really important for the AlleyCats right now is moving the disc quickly and not letting the double team reset. You see the AlleyCats just working back and forth between Sohn, Plew, and Cox. Finally, there, Cameron Brock getting some yards, finding space.
Yeah, and here's Cox. He gets it to head to Loscar, and it looks like the AlleyCats have broken that situation. Here's the forehand from Jacobs, and he's got Jake Fella right in the back of the end zone. Jake Fella was there waiting, and Jacobs saw him. He had to put a long forehand out to the other side of the field, and he gets that score. So like we talked about, the AlleyCats able to come back now after that mini run by Madison and put it back up by 2, and now they're going to have to look for another break opportunity. 8 minutes to go now in the third quarter. AlleyCats keeping that lead up.
Look at you saying break opportunity.
I did say that, didn't I?
I'm honestly, I'm just so proud.
Thank you.
That's a good moment, honestly.
Yep. I'm getting there.
You know?
I'm learning from the best, right?
The key to a great broadcast is just definitely great chemistry, between the two people up here, And clearly my smarts are rubbing off on you, which is great.
Hopefully that's the only thing that rubs off on me. Now the AlleyCats with the pull. And like we said, they're looking for a break. Andrew Brown, they have a double team going on themselves. Not something we typically see from them. Now Camp with Zebarth on the mark, and Jones now marking. That's Nelson on the far side for Madison. They have it in the center now. He's looking for the backhand to the near side. Nelson again. He's looking for Brown. Brown unable to get open. There's the layout D. Again, that was Ringwood with another beautiful play.
Just gotta.
He's got to settle down now. Yep.
Yep. Great comment. He's just got to be like, all right, don't try to do anything too crazy.
And there's some contact, and we're gonna have a penalty against Madison, and Ringwood is gonna step this off 10 yards, and he's gonna have to do something with this disc now. He does a nice job of getting that dump. Here's Ames.
Ooh.
Back to Ringwood. Oh, and Ringwood a little quick with that forehand to Ames. Ames unable to come up with it.
Looking good there for a second. Just a lot of good fakes, but, sometimes you just get a little too quick with the disc.
So now Ames on the mark, coming back the other way. Madison going to look to cut this to 1 once again after that mistake that they had. And we're going to see another call. And we have an AlleyCats player who had a little bit of a gimpy ankle, I think. That's Kobira. Seen some nice play from him tonight. Hopefully he's going to hang in there. And there is the score. Colin Camp comes down with it for Madison. Now 15-14, the AlleyCats had a break opportunity. And that mistake is going to hurt them.
Just look at this replay again. Just does a good job of positioning himself to when he catches it, immediately can make that throw. You saw him there. Kind of wondering what he was doing there, and I could tell it's just he kind of turns himself so he can catch it and then immediately throw it. And
yeah, and that was Andrew Brown, I believe, and we see that a lot from him. That's one of the things that makes him so strong is almost as soon as he catches the disc, he's ready to go.
Yep.
And he can turn that disc around and go the other way into the end zone in no time at all. And that's why he's one of the best. So now the pull from Madison. Comes down a little short. Joey Carey's going to take it to Plew. And they need to work this ahead before they get some double team. There's no double team set up this time, I don't believe. You can see Marquise Mason is not on the field. And I think that's a good thing for the AlleyCats now. He's been tough on that mark so far tonight. This is Schwartz, sends a low one down. Jake Fellow with a great sliding catch. Schwartz, number 5, now on the near side, gets it back to Plew. Plu makes a nice cut to get that disc back. And those two guys having to work it together right now. And here we go, Carpenter now into the mix. He's directing traffic. Looks like somebody lost a shoe in the middle of the field.
It's his hat.
Oh, it's a hat. I'm sorry. There's Carey. Gets it back to Schwartz.
Maybe I should have started counting how many completions they have on this point.
Yeah, and this point already has been about a minute long. 4:37 to go here in the third quarter. And they haven't even worked it to midfield. They might have to get a timeout on this. And there's Gross with it. He's got a double team on the far side. Fella now swings it to the near side. And Schwartz, who's been doing a lot of work on this point, gets it ahead to Plu.
Great find over there.
Plu finally had some space. He got Gross. Now Carey has to make the dump back to Carpenter. Carpenter with that backhand to Cameron Brock.
Very patient here.
Yep, Brock sends one over the top. He's got a man. There it is. Wow, what a great point.
Oh, man.
And that was
like maybe 3 minutes, I think, off the clock?
That was important for them, too.
Yes.
Not only to get that score to push it back up by 2, but to be able to show that they have the patience to work the disc that long without making any mistakes. See Brock, he had his man. Perfect throw over the top. Brock gets the assist, and that's Jake Fellow who comes down on the other side of it. I believe that is his third goal of the game. And Brock now with 2 assists to go with 3 goals. So he's having an excellent game tonight. And the AlleyCats once again up by 2. And they're going to be looking for that break opportunity to push it back up to 3 if they can. Here's Kasper Zicki. It's going to come down on the goal line. Madison sends it ahead. There's Brown. And here's Tucker with it on the near side. Gets that forehand immediately. Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown with Kasper Zicki all over him. Now Thibodeau.
Ooh,
Thibodeau
nice piece there.
Yeah, he got a
they
piece
call
of
it
that.
A stall. So the thing is there that's important is that they don't have to take the disc on the end zone. They get to bring it up to where the stall occurred, which gives them about 30 yards.
So now the AlleyCats with a good chance to go up by 3 again with 3 minutes to go here in the third. This is Kyle Cox. As I said, he typically is a handler with the O-line, and this is the position that they want him in.
Yeah, I think the AlleyCats have definitely got a good job of switching up the lineup and making sure they put the right people in the right positions.
Yep, here's
Again,
our rookie.
Good opportunity to go back up by 3. Putting a lot of pressure on the disc. AlleyCats kind of trying to maybe make use of the open man here.
Here's Cox again with it in the center. Gets the forehand to Jones.
Kyle Cox is one of those people that if the opportunity presents itself, he will make a huck downfield.
And we have a whistle on the field, and that was a timeout from the AlleyCats, and I was wondering if they were going to do that. Jones in a little bit of a trouble.
Yeah, I think a good call there.
Excellent, yeah, perfect timing from the AlleyCats to get that timeout. 2:25 to go now, looking to push it up to 3 with their O-line on the field. Hand-me-down car. First used but new to you car. First actual new car. When things change, your insurance should too. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. So the weather getting a little bit more chilly here tonight. Sun starting to go down.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You know why?
Why is that?
Well, I'm wearing this Daywalker, and I got the name right. Again, sent to me by 5 Ultimate, and I've been wearing it like every time I've been up here in the broadcast booth. This thing's amazing.
It is a beautiful piece of equipment, especially on you.
I know. Like I said, very good.
Fits you like a glove.
Yeah. Saw Keenan Plew talking a lot there in the timeout. See, very aggressive mark here.
Yep. Michael Ames unable to get that out of that double team. That was Andrew Meshnick with another D. He's gotten his hands on a couple discs in that position. So the AlleyCats losing that opportunity to get that break point. And this is Kevin Brown now in the middle of the field. He's got space.
Oh, out of
that
bounds.
Was Pettit Scantling. I do not believe that was in bounds. But we had some contact. And it was out of bounds. Marquise Mason makes a great catch but does not get his foot down. And now the AlleyCats O-line going to bring it back the other way.
Again, you can make those swings now and gain yards, then do the same thing to the other side of the field, back and forth.
We're going to see those double teams again. As Carpenter goes up to get that disc on the far side.
They did a great job of looking around and seeing that he needed to go up and attack that.
Here's Jake Fella. Gets it back to Sohn.
Great find there.
Sohn with a nice backhand to Schwartz. Schwartz has that double team, Meshnick and Mason. Again, the AlleyCats being very patient on O. No need to hurry this. 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Again,
still plenty of time.
Yeah, if they score and don't leave much time, then I believe they're back on offense to start the fourth, so that could get them a 3 and then maybe a 4-point lead. We'll see.
Here's one over the top zone.
About 30 seconds left.
Thought that was going to be contested. He gets it ahead. Here's Ames. And the AlleyCats, Keenan Plew, finally on the other side. He's been handling all night, working the back of the field. He gets ahead, gets his first score of the game. And that puts the AlleyCats up by 3 with 19 seconds to go here in the third. And that was the classic Ball State connection, as our producer Heath Shanahan says. And he's right. And
you want to know why I like that so much, right?
Why is that?
I went to Ball State too.
Okay. I notice you're not part of that connection, but I'm sure. I'm sure you're there in spirit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, I am. Yeah.
So the AlleyCats, after struggling a little bit at the beginning of this third quarter, have pushed the lead back up by 3, which is where they stood at the end of the last quarter, I believe. 3 or 4, I'm not sure. But this is a fairly good position for them going into the fourth. 20 seconds to go now. We'll see if Madison can put one down the field.
Doing the same thing there. They got Gross, Carpenter, and Fella sitting deep in the end zone, sitting around that area.
They're going to do everything they can to protect that goal line.
About 10 seconds left here now, officially on the game clock.
Here's Kevin Brown over the top. And they have opportunity here. And there it is, perfectly timed. 1 second to go in the quarter. Madison showing you how to get it done. And the AlleyCats, maybe, it's one of those situations where you just don't know if you're playing that soft, deep defense to try and protect the goal, and you let them move the disc down the field quickly like that. It's hard to stop.
Yeah, they put 3 people downfield, which, with 20 seconds left allows Madison to work it up some.
Yeah.
And then, just taking the opportunity right at the end, timed it perfectly. End of the third quarter.
That was Ben Nelson with that score for Madison. So we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Madison Radicals versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
So we're back now at the start of the fourth quarter, and we have the winner of the Layout Ultimate gloves, and that would be one Jordan Passman. Congratulations and enjoy the Layout gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Big thanks to Layout Ultimate for that.
But did he tweet anything that we need to work on? He got the gloves, but
I mean, do you really need to work on anything? Let's be honest.
That's true. That is true.
You know what? What can anybody
Fair
say,
point.
honestly?
Fair point.
We see some activity on the field. The fans getting involved in the action tonight. AlleyCats on the sideline, trying to get themselves worked up here in the fourth quarter. They have a 2-point lead. And I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but they've been in this position in 2 of the last 3 games where they went into the fourth quarter with the lead, and they were unable to come away with the win. So we'll see if they can improve and learn to finish tonight against one of the best teams in the AUDL. This disc is going to come from your right to your left. Madison going to be pulling AlleyCats with that first opportunity. Oh, they are switching sides. Yes, there they go. So let me rephrase that. Madison now pulling from the left to the right. AlleyCats are going to be coming back the other way with the disc. And they have to get this started quickly here in the fourth quarter and come out with a little more energy than they did in the third to try and stave off this Radicals team.
Yeah, I think the scoring slowed down there quite a bit. Both teams had a few points there. It took a while, but I think some of the key moments stand out to me so far. Those few points AlleyCats had that took, maybe 2, maybe even 3 minutes, and they scored. It was very important. So, again, I think we've talked about what they need to do and what they haven't done so far this season. It's just going to be about, just ignoring all that. And I think, I kind of know these guys a little bit, and I think that's definitely something that's possible for them. So we'll just see. It's an exciting quarter.
Yeah, both of those long points in the third quarter, like you mentioned, came in situations where the Madison had made a little bit of a run.
Yep.
And the AlleyCats showing at that time that they had the patience to slow that down and get themselves back in order. So we'll see what they can do now in the fourth quarter. Samson on the point tonight quite a bit, and he has it right now. And he works it back to Plu. Plu sends a low one to Carpenter. Now we have Jake Fella takes off the hat now that the sun has gone down.
Got to have respect for a fellow rec spec wearing player.
And that was a really low forehand from Carpenter. Yep. Great effort by Schwartz. Unable to come up with that throw. And here's Everhart going to try and lead Madison back down the field for the break. The near side now, that's number 42, Chase Marty.
Definitely a foul.
Yeah, we had a unquestionably a foul that time. He's going to walk that forward. That's Brian Hart, number 13. Gets it to Meshnick.
I like that aggressive kick there from Fella to stop the break throw.
Here's Marty. And Everhart with that left hand. And again, you can see the patience of Madison's D-line. This is why they are able to get so many breaks. They have a D-line that's as good as most O-lines, and there you see number 42, that's Chase Marty for the score.
First point took almost 2 minutes.
Yep.
Goes to Madison. This is a very important point right here.
Yeah, this is huge. So Madison cuts it to 1 here in the fourth quarter, and you almost get the sense that they've just been playing it low until now, and is this where they're going to turn it on? Because that's what they've done in the past. And the AlleyCats were in a bit of an unusual situation against this team. Usually they're trailing, trying to catch up, and now they had the lead and the control of the game. And we're going to have to see if their maturity is improved. Here's Kyle Cox back on the O-line. Gets that disc ahead. AlleyCats probably looking to get their more experienced handlers on the field at this time as much as they can.
Definitely a strategic move, trying to get Cox out there, getting him some more touches, and some important no points.
Here's Carey now.
Perhaps could be a very critical in-game adjustment there from AlleyCats. And
Carey running out of time. Has to send that back on the dump. And Scantling not in the end zone, has to tap it, and he gets it to, I believe that's Brian Hart for the score. And now the game is tied just like that. Joey Carey, what do you do in that situation? You call a timeout?
Well, I mean, it's high stall. I think it's going to be hard to, really just in a quick pressure situation like that. You just didn't get it really up high enough. Maybe he was wanting Kyle Cox to move one way or another, didn't really do that. I think where Cox was, he was just expecting, okay, right now probably just throw it over the top and just didn't really throw it high enough. And again, same thing where after that, the AlleyCats kind of aren't really ready to transition into defense and leads to a score. And this is the first time it's been tied since early first quarter. So,
yeah, Cox and Carey with minor discussion on the sideline. You have to wonder, this O-line has been working really well with the new lineup that they had. And is this the time to change that up? So the AlleyCats going to try and take that lead back.
So now Ames back out there on O-line.
Yeah, here we have.
I think I noticed Plew and Ames were both off on that last O point maybe.
Carpenter with it. Being checked by Hart. Here's Levi Jacobs on O. Looking for that forehand. Puts it on the ground. There's Keenan Plew unable to come up with that. And Madison right back looking for their second break. And Brown makes a nice play. Couldn't catch that initially, but came down with it. Gets that left-handed backhand down the field. Here's Carpenter. Cannot come up with that. But the Madison Radicals player definitely does. That was a beautiful layout catch. I'm trying to see who that was. I'm not sure who that was. Going to see if we can see on the replay. That is Brian Hart with an amazing catch. Number 14 threw that disc. Logan Pruis with the assist. And just like that, Madison Radicals in the position that they're used to being in control of this game with 9:15 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, right now it's 3-0 Madison this quarter.
Yep. And that's the kind of confidence that this team has. A team that's used to winning. And like I said, they are relentless. They do not get frustrated. They do not get down on themselves. They just keep coming. And they are proving that right now. This is Rick Gross with the disc for the AlleyCats. Sends it to Carpenter. Gets a nice forehand ahead to Brock. Brock facing a double team.
Wow. He didn't hesitate on that one.
Samson on the receiving end of that. And that's Schwartz with a nice catch. But not a nice throw, unfortunately. As that was Ames. Not sure where that was going. Does not come down with it. And here's Kevin Brown back the other way for the Madison Radicals. And they are looking to pump this up by 2 now. Here's Pettit Scantling. Works it back to the middle. Here's Kevin Brown with a backhand over the top. Gets that to Everhart. Meshnik with a blast into the end zone, but there's no one there. Yeah, there's no one there but the ref. So the AlleyCats get a break on that one. Not a break, but a break, right?
I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
For sure.
7:49 to go here in the fourth quarter. AlleyCats looking to tie this up. Jake Fella with the forehand. He's got his man. Brock goes to get it. He had Schwartz streaking down the sideline, but he had to hold up. That was a nice play by Brock.
Oh. Nice.
Keenan up over the top. He's got Brock in the end zone for the score. AlleyCats come right back and tie this up.
And there we go.
Yeah, that was a long point, but one that comes out on the positive side for the AlleyCats. The first time we've seen Plu to Brock tonight, I believe. Brock with his 4th goal of the game, and that's at an opportune time. 5 Ultimates recently released their Pride collection, celebrating the LGBTQ ultimate community. It includes daywalkers, shorts, gun show tanks, armbands, and more, all sporting a rainbow design. Today, 5 wants to give away a pair of their new Pride Triton shorts to one of our viewers. Tweet at universe_point why you want a pair of Pride Triton shorts and use the hashtag #GiveMe5. We will select a winner before the end of the game. Thank you to 5 Ultimate, one of our new sponsors this year, and they have been doing a really good job for us. Here's Wiseman for the Radicals. Radicals looking to take that lead again. Lascar with a little bit of contact, no call.
You get kind of a sense that AlleyCats are just going to need to make a big play on defense. Don't know if Madison will make the turnover the AlleyCats need.
Yeah, that's one of the things. They're not going to give you anything in this position. And they certainly don't give them the disc back as they get a score. And once again, take that 1-point lead, 19-18 with 6:44 to go. That was Colin Camp with the assist as he made a nice cut. I'm sorry, not Colin Camp. That was Tucker with the assist. And that's number 42, Chase Marty, I believe, with the score. And that's his 3rd goal of the game. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net. The AlleyCats and Madison with some back and forth now here in the 4th quarter. And the AlleyCats looking for the back at this time as they get it to midfield fairly easily. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Unfortunately, the internet is not perfect. It went out on us in the press box. We are back with you now, though. 44 seconds to go. And Madison in control of this game. That is, as you see there, that's been going on this entire quarter. And there's Marquise Mason with his first score of the game. And that puts Madison up by 4 now, 23-19 with 30 seconds to go in this game. Once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but you did not miss much. It was mostly that during the few minutes we were gone. And, we were saying earlier during that unfortunate break that if the AlleyCats had only played 3 quarters in every game, they would have a 4-2 record.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, because I know that, again, I think the 3 of their losses, going into the fourth quarter, if the game was 30, which obviously would, change sort of the feel of the game. But, yeah, 4-2 after 3 quarters, and what looks to be 1-5 after 4 quarters, which is the official record.
Right. And I think they have been outscored 8-2 in this quarter.
Yes, 8-2.
So Madison coming out and just putting it on the AlleyCats. And we talked a little bit about the fact that the AlleyCats O-line changed starting that fourth quarter. Cox and Ames back on the field more, and this is absolutely nothing against those 2 guys. But
no, because certainly not the ones that were making all the turnovers. There's just, I guess, a different feel to the offense at the start of the fourth quarter. And it'll be something to, obviously I'm no coach and not saying anything negative towards the AlleyCats whatsoever. That's the official end there.
Yep.
Madison pulls out the victory, 23-20. The AlleyCats again. Just it's something that they know. It's something they need to work on. It's we don't need to stress it anymore. But like we said, we saw just sort of a different feel of the offense there that fourth quarter. Officially like about a 8-3 advantage Madison in that fourth quarter, which is what did it.
Yep. We saw that last play of the game. That was Spencer Loskar with the assist to Cameron Brock. That gives Cameron 6 goals with 3 assists in this game. He had a very nice game tonight, but it just was not enough for the AlleyCats as they go down 23-20 here in southeastern Indianapolis against the Madison Radicals. They've played these guys twice at home now and lost both games. So what do they do now to turn this around? As we said, this is a very tough division for them this year.
Yeah, I mean, it might be hard to necessarily say their schedule gets easier. I don't know. They've had, so like we said, they've had a couple games against Minnesota, a couple games against Madison. Sitting at 1-5, with definitely going to be sort of an uphill climb from here. But as you can see, the AlleyCats, knowing that they're looking for that first win against Madison, still come out hard, still compete the whole game. I mean, no one enjoys losing a game like this, and it's very tough to fight back from it. But I guarantee that AlleyCats will come back out, fight just as hard their next game, and just continue to work at it. And they've been building a base of players that have been back consistently, and I think that they'll look to just continue that. And regardless, it's a fun atmosphere to be here, to be calling this game, to be supporting the sport that I love and you're growing to love. And by the way, again, your knowledge is just getting much, much better. This has been an amazing night. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, we apologize for anything anybody missed out there, but we're glad for those of you that are still tuning in. It's been an up and down night here in this fourth quarter, really. But Madison pulls it out and improves to 3-1, I believe. Indy will fall to 1-5. But again, I fully believe the AlleyCats will come out, continue to fight strong. A lot of young athletic talent out there, and I think it's something that again, we saw different looks from their offense and defense that are very good signs, and they'll just continue to fight.
Yeah, and we saw at the beginning of that game Keenan Plew, who typically, like you said, is a cutter for this team.
Yes.
And has been for a long time, one of the best players in the history of the AUDL, both in terms of assists and in terms of scoring goals. And he was mostly working the disc as a handler tonight, and that seemed to be working really well for the first 3 quarters of the game.
Yep.
We saw that he had 1 goal tonight, but he had 3 assists. But more it was about controlling the disc and controlling the pace.
Yes, his completions and catches will be very high.
Yep, and we had another good positive note from tonight's game. We had a good debut by Connor Henderson, the 18-year-old, your boy, Connor Henderson, the 18-year-old from Center Grove. And he had 1 goal and 1 D, but a lot of good energy, and that was we're going to have him as our play of the game. We're going to take a look at our BE Ultimate better than ever play of the game. We'll see if we can ring this up, that D that he had. You see this replay, and there it is, just perfect timing on the layout that time. And he was good to see him pumped up in his debut tonight, and like I said, that's what this game is all about. Despite the loss, to see the look on his face after he got that score and after he got that D. So that was our BE Ultimate better than ever play of the game. BE Ultimate, putting a different spin on Ultimate apparel by focusing on high performance fabrics, quality workmanship, and rapid turnaround time. They are Ultimate players making Ultimate gear for the Ultimate community. Visit their website at beultimate.com. And as we said earlier in this broadcast, we want to thank Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance for being a presenting sponsor for us tonight. We are here with UniversePointProductions.com. Big thanks to everyone who worked the cameras for us tonight. Big thanks to you, Alex, for being in the booth with me tonight.
Always exciting. Again, I really enjoyed it. Glad to be working back with you again, good sir.
The winner of the 5 Ultimate Pride Triton shorts is at Force Flick. Congratulations and enjoy the sweet swag from 5 Ultimate. We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Health Zone Chiropractic. Enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health. 5 Ultimate, supporting Ultimate from the end zone to the dance floor. Disc Store, offering the best service and best price on Ultimate gear guaranteed. BE Ultimate, Ultimate players making Ultimate gear for the Ultimate community. Layout Ultimate, the most durable Ultimate gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. And of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats. Also want to thank our producer, as always, Heath Shanahan, for putting on this show. He fought through some difficulties tonight like a madman, like he always does, the genius behind the board doing all of our work for us. Our next broadcast, June 4th, as the Pittsburgh Thunderbirds come to town. We have all the action right here on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm Bird Phillips. Up in the booth once again with me is Alex Hutton. And thank you for joining us from wherever you joined us from tonight. And have a good evening, and we will see you next time.